Torn Banner Studio returns, bringing back their brutal battles between the Agathian Knights and the Mason Order, and they are bigger, bloodier, and better than ever before. What's up, YouTube, and welcome to our very first look at Chivalry 2. Like and subscribe. So, you wish to raise the sword? Guard!
Yes, my lord.
See to it that this peasant is trained.
Yes, my lord.
Before stepping foot onto the gruesome battlefield, let's first dive into what we've seen so far regarding basic weapon and gameplay mechanics, beginning with offensive combat abilities. At its core, there are three basic types of attacks: slash attacks, overhands, and stabs. Clicking your left mouse button will begin a slash attack from the right side. Scrolling your mouse wheel backwards will attack with an overhand chop, again from the right side. And scrolling your mouse wheel forward will initiate a stab attack, again from the right. Each of these primary attacks can be modified in two ways. The first is by holding down the Alt key, changing each to an attack from the left instead of the right. The second modifier is to hold down the left mouse button during any attack, which will change it into a heavy attack. In total, this provides us with 12 attack variations. Now, on top of our 12 primary attacks, we have 4 additional attacks: the jab, the kick, a special attack unique to each weapon, and the ability to throw whatever's in our hands, be it a weapon, a rock,
McNuggets,
or even a decapitated head.
Hey, Panda Man, catch this!
The jab is used to interrupt an opponent's attack. A kick will break an opponent's guard and stagger them, but if their guard is not up, it will not stagger like it did in the first game.
Out, kick, and thrust, and dead.
And depending on what weapon you're using, the special attack can be pretty different, but it's always a powerful strike, except for the spear.
You just go into this stupid stance and it's like, just kill me now. I literally can't even defend myself.
Last but not least, let's take a quick look at special equipment. Chivalry 2 brings back the same 4 classes introduced in the first game: Archer, Vanguard, Footman, and Knight, but expands upon them by adding 3 unique subclasses to each one. Each of these subclasses brings specialty tools into the fray. The Archer's first subclass is the Longbowman, whose special item is the Brazier, a portable fire pot used to ignite arrows, which then cause burn damage to any struck opponent. Archer's second subclass is the Crossbowman, which carries a placeable banner as their special item. Banners provide an AoE heal to all allies nearby and is a huge benefit on the field. The third and final subclass of Archer is the Skirmisher, which carries a quiver. The quiver allows the Skirmisher to replenish their ammunition supply on the fly without having to find one of the several ammo boxes scattered across the field of battle. Vanguard's starting subclass is the Devastator, which brings oil pots onto the field. A well-thrown oil pot can be absolutely devastating to a group of enemies and brings an interesting element of area control onto the battlefield. The next subclass of Vanguard is the Raider. Raiders carry with them a war horn. When blown, the war horn provides an AoE heal for all nearby allies before going into a fairly long cooldown. Last among the Vanguard subclasses is the Ambusher, again bringing the same quiver carried by the Skirmisher. Unlike the other 3 primary classes, all 3 subclasses of the Footman carry bandages into battle. The bandage is a thrown special item that grants a heal over time to wounded allies. Last but not least, the Knight. Knight's first subclass is the Officer, whose special item is the Trumpet. As far as I can tell, the Trumpet is identical to the Raider's Warhorn, offering the same AoE heal to nearby allies. The second subclass of the Knight is the Guardian, carrying the same banner, also brought into battle by the Crossbowmen. And finally, we have the Crusader, which brings the same oil pot also carried by the Devastator subclass of the Vanguard. Now that you know what you're up against, it's time you learn to defend yourself. The most fundamental defense is to greet steel with steel. Holding down the right mouse button will raise your guard, allowing you to defend against oncoming attacks. Just be sure to aim your guard in the direction of the oncoming strike, or it won't do you any good. It's also worth noting that successfully blocking incoming strikes will chip away at your stamina, and if you run out, you'll be disarmed. The second and arguably most useful method of defense is the riposte. To riposte, simply strike with any attack immediately after a successful block. What makes the riposte so powerful is that, if done correctly, it grants you a half second of perfect guard against all incoming attacks in front of you. The third and most technical defensive tactic is the counter, or perfect parry. A successful counter is performed by first holding up your guard with the right mouse button, and then attacking out of your own guard with the same basic attack type as your opponent just before they hit you. You don't have to worry about attacking from the same direction as your opponent, just be sure it's the same basic attack type, slash, overhand, or stab. The major benefit of countering is that it negates the stamina loss you would normally take after a standard block. Sometimes it's not in your best interest to block, riposte, or counter. And if that's the case, you can always... Dodging can be performed to the left, right, or backwards by pressing the spacebar. In the first Chivalry, only the man-at-arms could dodge. Now, any class can do it. One thing they don't teach you in training is the ducking mechanic, and I gotta tell you, it's my favorite defensive maneuver by far. Pressing control will make you crouch, but the real magic is in crouching while moving to the left or right. You'll do a hard duck and weave to the side, slipping under most slash attacks and giving yourself an extra second before any overhand attack might have split your skull. Well guys, that wraps up our first look at Chivalry 2's combat system. If you feel like supporting this channel and want to see more content like this, please drop a like and click that subscribe button. And if you ever want to come hang out directly, come say hi on Twitch, link in the description below. I hope to see you all on the battlefield June 8th, where we can
gingerly touch our tips.
You know me, crazy Mohawk spearman coming for you.